bali bakugenda hamwe na hotel Davila Kikuube oranti wakupeleka y'abaana kitale ekyo ebitakusobola kubaho buli kuja bagambire Kikuube yona tulina kolone wanu company era National Supplier database atukola National Supplier database they can give you a service even you can host a function here in Kikuube atoja kusanga ngo the first function of national content to be Kikuube but tufire muno kulangu yabaho mulingo ki otherwise better hoima some of you may just missing amutayizire kabyo kumisinga kwa distance na boss betu akira stroke kakiro land kuru muno kulangu ya Kikuube twateka ho kuyo kulangi mu Kikuube munitegereza nuko kuleta HB hotel bafara kuba hoima na tunagi hotel so you organize ile hanu so no rakura Davila but to HB hotel because that linkage bali ingire as our thing so the big hotel it grab with a micro a small hotel orambo ya imu ya service za praki za hanu Kikuube mungeke kurujya so atuna yiwe omurongo bigi bya kora bako omuraba mutapozeli linkages rondo muraba mutaregister iyo National Supplier database so atika kino kibento kwabya kora mukejanga cyeja mu Kikuube cyo gamu kitegereza na webyo hotel nuko kweli ahera wakataito okanira gena mu kweya wakataito ne wali services enyuma ekyo kino then ekyakabiri tukulira mu the place the very safe twina covid ejo covid akagendera beka kusanga ohura kubi we have an emergency kusanga kuya boko ngo kuje mu iwaro twina our passport ya wangu then ekije bota kubasaho na mnono abarugire Kampala buchoge bintu orukudo runo rwa hoima kafo rukachwa kyokara abana bakwambiriza kurabamu ne bakora bribe kandi ruliro ruchogire kimu so tuba magazine tingako so kudoro paka kumetera gamango rugiro rukozaki rukinguiwe na mononya abaisiramu tukora kali ngo paka abaisiramu sinoka then batunga accident then nengudo zinzola eza mulijo nenu ezimo zinakora sinungiwe na mabona mayindi so tukwaza abantu kubegendereza kandi speed mugendezeho kandi ngene mu murobo hapa ora kuba mpando bali ka speed so kuvugirako maya abantu tubagendera kandi na muno ababoda boda okon tuvuga kubi so ekitusa kwazaho about health and safety ya tikezo bele area la issue let us know that's what I can say so that is what we again I want to go through very fast this program and clear this program mugine Cnooc this program the chairman of the LC5 are supposed to open this conference, but imeilana wile hunu na gamba alifuno mwaide baita akwenda kusika someone tukama aja kusanga mo open this conference baitu tukete iwe wesa kusubiri saa isatu atokera musaha ina katu bora hawibu so ekyo twakirinde yakija ku ya kusanga then chairman of the Kikuube conference, which I'm sure now we are going to use other means at the conference, the workshop will be open. Petrol of Uganda, or Domura, Aizano, Provincial Syndicate, Ayakuha, Ayakusoto, updates. Now, no making every form of that. We are getting the Kotumani, Ugama, SARS, and Chikio, issue is a national content. Now we need a petrol authority or mobile network Kikuube. So mroko arao jamaa matasa ina president ya kuja kwa exercise za wikiro. Then mroko kwa mara abadesere hano elisitoka Uganda Limited. Niyo eizeba ya kingekuisha fatwa geta kingekuisha development area project. Sitoka nayo erohano mkuka na Japana yesoboraho kana wale kwa package kuko musinoka ana habuaki function yenu mpromo kwa Kikuube kana habuaki kwa kwenda simu wenu kwa workshop yenu kwa kulinda kuna aina mbele kwa na magambira then oko mkuru wa mara tuijakuba na consultants kuruga mu Bulado. Konsana kuruga mu Bulado ajja kukola introduction lundi okutwala olunyoro kati olwalibala ekizibu lundi okwanjula omutwe guno kitege mukunyu mugenda akuja okuchwachiwana kikimula ekikumanyiza kandi lize sinkejes kusomera kuzikola tuta kandi watali okutintizi mukunyetegereza kandi na challenges atino mwana kuyetegereza that will mark the first session mukunyetegereza ati tujja kuhaka ile katayito akokuwa pepeko peto kwera bwana abaza sinoka akabaza. No. I think this one will come later. Sorry, that will be the second session. But after Cnooc, na Petroleum Authority, we tumaya na chema ni amasile kubaza. Amashua inyo mwela ishu zanyu reactions abakuru abako zileki babalize. Kisapati chikaguzo, baito ugetu bila kutiyito utatondole kukune minyogwa ikila hansonga mukongeni. Tuja kuba kaida hapo utatondola muno kwetora niona bigeni ukora kwa bitu bwine otulabale ekyo tujagenda association ya kabiri tuturuka mu tukwehindura association ya kabiri atujja akiyina kyonyine express hano tuyina abakuru kuruko omafuta abatungire tenda abakusupply ngayo abamo muri nywe abanyamitigiro mu yiko mu rohana mu kwituka ibintu abarizeho ati kuna mugere mwe kwase tubabaleteye barohanu atwese abaina tendazi nundi emime ngoto mafuta mu kujetegereza ati emile abantu babo bajja kubagambira bo kapuza muziki na twese zabo kandi babyo bagambire biki eba kusupply mafuta obo baba sobole ebyo kulya biri kwetagisibwa ongegere batiro bagambire quantity wiki buli kampuni oyetwara kandi batiro bagambire quality omutindo gwebintu ebyo ongegere ati ekyo mwana tunachikaniza ati nyoko hamagezi ngakoma bayiwo contact zabo wakati tuli mukatale tu business and workshop practical. Orang kita macam ini, tidak mau element yang practical. Ini yang menjadi kita dengan nama pura-pura, menggrup zanya apa? Ini mana orang yang mengisi menggrup zanya, apa beli. So, nak kita as a way forward maybe tinggal bikin jahati, kurang program ini mau tuh organisasi yang murni, ekitu kimu. Orang akan sering bangku itu ada mudah bangku itu ada apa kurang nak suruh Supplier. Awaki tuchikozene. Tuchikoleire. Ngokubagambire National Supplier database. Kikuube district. There is only one company. As for last week, when I subject the National Supplier database of Kikuube, atikwani kifanyisa Kikuube na betu ina mafuta alibaga iha kijifusha kiangwali ili tusupply ngatukura rapuka nzikoraki nizigenda awakati ule profile even to apply for those standards. Mukegere?
Presenters, participants, I salute. My name is Kikuube, standing in for Chairman Cnooc Kikuube District, local government. Currently is not around because of some complications. Organizers of this engagement, thank you so much. Cnooc, you've been supportive to our district. You really played a big role in the education sector, and again, giving us knowledge about enhancing the business linkages to farmers. Last week, we had a challenge. We got visitors from URA to come and register people in the National Supplier database. People didn't turn up. But I believe with this knowledge we've got today, next time when they come, we shall turn up the registration. Chairman Kaiba disappointed in Mono. We are going to by zero registering the national database. Here we turn up with having no. Now, Basaba, our guests can fully locate. omuntu obalagaruka ajja kola ekikusoboka loopinga amata obagaruke mwijja mu registering. Toyina omulingo ogenda kusupplyinga ebintu mu oil and gas companies otayi registered mu national supply database. So abagonzebwa bange abalungi abasabire tukole ekikusoboka zikaba companies ebiri zonke za registering guno betu mulundi guno na knowledge ene itufunire mbasaba tugenda mu maiso we register because we benefiting. It will look bad kurora emiyembe nibagihaho ino abo bali registering kandi tekikuba tukozereki tulo. It will look bad kurora amawulire galuga mu districts eziri kandi nitwe tupostinga amafuta. So we should team out. Kikuube tax salary to register in more oil and gas companies. Going to to call groups. These are farmer groups. These are registered farmer groups. We should put in effort. To collect it and benefit. But we just are complaining. I'm never come office chairman. Chairman, a bit to be quick ahead. Chairman, a bit to be quick ahead. But can't have so good hurry try to registering here. Tupina jamani tugenda kula kandi ningira na knowledge itufunire at the end of the day tijja kuruga mu farming ene online commercial farming orabo baye noina omuti kumugomba kendo please go back home obyale miti. I know these companies they are planning whether over those ni bende miyembe ni orabo baye noine miyembe taito muka go back home obyale ki emiyembe ni kitu kyaitu nitwe tuliba nitwe tu postinga our district postinga ki amafuta. So we should try to benefit fina kulenga okura to benefiting mu projects that with those few remarks I declare the meeting open officially. Thank you so much.
I'm here to represent the Executive Director of the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, who are now to be a part of this process, but because of other engagements, he sent me to represent the authority. My name is James, and I handle national content issues, especially those that relate to capacity building and skills development. Today, I know that we have different categories of people. So if you are a neighbor who can understand you fully, don't be shy to be whispering little things. So for us as Petroleum Authority, we're a regulator. A regulator means we control everything that relates to the oil and gas sector. So ours is to ensure that whatever Cnooc Uganda is doing, they do it in line with the law. Whatever Total Energies is doing or Cnooc, they do it in a way that is acceptable, in a way that benefits Ugandans. That is what the Petroleum Authority does. It is a government institution that is responsible for regulation. But the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, the first on your left, they are the ones who come up with the laws and the policies. They do investment promotion. In other words, there are things we shall be going downstream, which involves storage and the sale, transportation of what? Of oil. They also are responsible to giving licenses to companies like Cnooc, Ama, Oranto, and others. For Cnooc, most times people confuse Cnooc and PAU. Cnooc is also a government institution. All these three are for government. The other one, number one, is the ministry. Number two is the authority. Number three is the business arm of government. Government does business for oil and gas, and the institution responsible for it to take care of all our commercial interests is Cnooc. It's also part of government. So they also ensure that when it comes to the sale of our oil, they will be responsible for it. In terms of also being business people who are relevant to the sector, they will also be responsible for that. There are companies here, if you can see the logos. These companies, for instance, what is important for you to know is that much as we have discovered the oil in our country, and the oil is in good quantities, we have also been reliably informed that the quality of our oil is confirmed now to be very good. My brother here from Cnooc will tell you they have already finished drilling two wells. They are successfully done. Excitement is too much, and they are now drilling the third well. So it's no longer a rumor like last year. Last year we were not sure whether the oil is there, whether it is good. It's now confirmed that the oil is there, and very good oil. They finished the first well, they did the second well, and they are now doing the third well here, just here in our district. So those are the good news. So much as we know that oil is there, the government has continued to discover other places where oil is. So the company is responsible for discovery, exploration. We are still exploring which other village has oil. You might even find here there is oil. So exploration is ongoing, and Ama Energy, Oranto, VGR, and Cnooc all have licenses for exploration. Development and production is being done by Cnooc, Uganda, Total Energies, and Cnooc. Transportation will be done by Total Energies, Cnooc, Cnooc, and then refining and oil processing will be done by Cnooc. Now, the current status of the oil and gas sector is such that those areas, companies I was mentioning, like Ama Energy, Oranto, for instance, Ama is in Kaniwatava, Oranto is in Ngasa Deep Play, and Oranto also is in Ngasa Shallow. We also have now Kikuube, which has just been signed, which is managed by Cnooc, and then Toraco, which is being managed by PGR. These are all companies now who are still doing more exploration work. And there are still many programs that are being run. For instance, processing of the processing the existing seismic data, acquiring new seismic data, and other things are being done. Of course, we're in the Albertine Graben, and you are very familiar because this is where you are, where the Albertine Graben is. In terms of development stage, you will note that up to 15 to 20 billion shillings are going to be invested in the sector. Now that money is more than the budget of Uganda. Last year our budget was just 44 trillion. This time it is around 47 trillion. Now when you talk about 20 billion US dollars and you multiply it with 3,700, you can confirm that that is at a range of about 70 trillion shillings. 70 trillion shillings is more than the whole budget of this country. And that explains why this sector is very, very crucial. Whereas the neighboring countries are struggling financially, you realize that our dollar is a bit stable. It is stable because of oil and what? Oil and gas. Whereas other economies are struggling, they will tell you, for the first time this year, Uganda has led all East African countries in terms of direct foreign investments. Direct foreign investment is where other people from other countries come to put money or do business in your what? Country. Now when these people come, they also pay what? Taxes. It improves on many things. Hotels like this, we start using them even when they are not complete because there is need. The roads, you will find there is a road which is going to be constructed here. If it was not for oil and gas, I don't think we would be constructing all the way from Kabare up to this town. Maybe it would be a smaller road, but because of these monies which are coming into the country, all this infrastructure work is going to continue. Of course, the refinery, we plan to construct our own refinery because we expect at least 60,000 billion barrels of oil And of course, also for those of you who have heard about the East African Crude Oil Pipeline Project, the pipeline is up to 2,011 kilometers because the whole distance is 1,000, up to 1,300 kilometers all the way from here in Kikuube up to Tanga in Tanzania. And of course, this is just information we need to appreciate. The airport is not very far, so at least some of you can visit it. It is one of the biggest airports in East Africa. Once it's open, it is going to come with a lot of opportunities for us. You are all aware, with Kikuube, build Uganda, by Uganda, it means that even in the airport, they are not going to eat pineapples from Kenya. The pineapples must come from here. The cabbages must come from here. You know, even in the airport, you eat cabbages. The onions, tomatoes must come from here. The fruits, the mangoes, oranges, the juice has to come from here. The bread, some of the hotels like this, if they get good people who can do good bread, they will be selling the bread to what? The airport. So these are the opportunities we are talking about. In terms of in-country value retention, that's the role of the Petroleum Authority, to make sure there is in-country value retention. In other words, we want to see that most of these monies I'm talking about in billions of US dollars. All this money should remain into the what? To the country. We don't want these people to come and then they take the money back to their what? Countries. So that is what PAU is responsible for. So we regulate national content. So ours is to make sure that Ugandans participate in the oil and gas sector. If we don't come here and teach you these things, you might think oil and gas is for Chinese, you might think it is for French or for other countries. For us, that's what we do. We are paid to make sure that you people benefit from this. But we're also aware that you are poor people. You're also aware that your businesses are small. You are learning to do business. And that's why we are coming here. To tell you that it is possible, you can do business. To tell you how business can be done, how you people can organize yourselves and become strong to be able to supply things of high quality. Because for oil and gas, the standard is very what? High. Everything you produce is of high what? Standards. Whether bananas, it should not be bananas that make people to suffer from stomach issues. It should be good quality. Whether it is fish, you don't just do fish the way we do ours. The standard is very high, and that explains why we come in here to see how to support you guys, to see how to teach you to be able to produce fish that can be eaten by the people who are in the camps, including your sons and daughters. Some of you have children who stay in the camp, they will tell you that the standard in the camp is 5-star. 5-star. It's at the level of Serena or Sheraton. The only difference is that these ones are temporary houses. But the standard, the way they cook, the chefs, everything, the standard is for a 5-star what? Hotel. And to provide goods and services for these hotels, Ugandans, especially from the host communities, must be prepared. It must be maybe a scaffolder, a welder, a bricklayer, but not a casual worker. No carpenter must come from Hoima to work here, and we use the ballot system. LOCs, no. You just go to a village, you put papers together, and then you pick randomly to avoid corruption. So this is what we do. As PAU, we ensure that there is increased participation of Ugandans. And then, of course, transfer of knowledge and skills. We want companies to come and transfer knowledge. If they are harvesting onions, tomatoes, or fruits, how can they teach you how to harvest fruits without damaging the what? The fruits. That is knowledge transfer. If it is colleges or universities, we want those professors who are teaching people or who are wealthy to come and also teach our Ugandan professors how to do well-being. That's part of knowledge transfer. That's why these companies have always supported the vocational training institutions, because it's the requirement by law for them to have knowledge transfer. And then also use of Ugandan goods and services. Whether it is fabricated houses, whether it is nails, or sand, or cement, for as long as what you need to use is in this community, we don't expect you to buy bamboo cement from Kenya, where we have Hima what? Cement. That one we shall not allow. We are not going to allow you to bring imported sugar or tea leaves from Canada or US, when here we have sugar from Kenyatta. You must get sugar from Roma Sugar Factory or Kenyatta Sugar Factory, because we want to increase the consumption of Ugandan goods and what? Services. The other is to ensure we teach you how to do business. Enterprise what? Development. Because before oil and gas, there was no need to set up a hotel like this. Because who was going to allow his daughter to come and sleep here when your home is just near? But now, because the projects have come, businesses have come, we want to teach people to set up things like these ones, to set up businesses like these ones. And that's what the PAU does as one of their core pillars in the national content. The other is capacity what? Building. And that's why we train young people to be builders, to be scaffolders, to be welders, to do all the other kinds of work that we anticipate will be required in the oil and gas sector. And that's why leakages, when you see all these things, you see now the leakages coming in. Because for as long as there are going to be agricultural trainings done by Cnooc, you will definitely need to have a training happen in the Villa Hotel. So the Villa benefits from the agricultural workshop. That's what they call leakages, what he was calling in our local language, or Kwakagana, something like that. So, if the Villa is going to have this workshop here, it means they also have to give us what? Water. So meaning that the person who manufactures water will also benefit. And for us, you don't bring again water from out or Wenzoni. We have water made from Punyoru, not so. Albertine water done by what's this water? Mika, yes. So when we come here, we don't want to get to see the other water when Mika is producing what? Water. I don't know that you understand. It's only said, because if we don't become tough as a regulator, it will be difficult for you to achieve. Mika will not have water here. These people will say, I want to resolve what? Resolve water. But the law, for us, we say no. If I come here and see resolve, there's no local content. I think that's not good. But water, because also Rwenzori is Ugandan water. But we first want to be sure that here in this village is there water. If it is not there, then we can go to the neighboring places. I don't know that you understand. So that is what we do as Petroleum Authority. Of course, this place we are going to eat lunch. That also means leakages, they have to go and buy food from the what? From the markets, not so. So that is how now the workshop gets linked to the mineral water factories, to the agricultural sector. Now, when these people also send things to us in the market, then this local government also goes there to impose what? Taxes on them. When they impose taxes on them, they will improve this place, put power, put water. Again, the community what? The community benefits. When the community benefits by having water, roads, electricity in place, investors come. When the investors come, again, they will provide more employment what? Opportunities. And those young people will want to go and dance. It means you will have to put a dance hall here where people go and dance. Because now the young people have money. you have to put a football pitch because young people want to go and play what? Football. That is what we call linkages. So when we are talking about business linkages for farmer producers, that is what we want to do. We are here to teach you that apart from being a farmer, do only farming, you also look at other things which are relevant what? To farming. For instance, you set up a store here in the village where during this season you are able to store maize. Not so, you store maize. Or as farmers, you put yourselves together and say the camps there in Cnooc, they need a lot of fish. Can we buy a truck, a vehicle which cools the fish to make sure that the fish arrives when it is safe? I'm sorry to give examples. I don't know your religion, forgive me. They also eat pork, the Chinese like pork. If you are going to be farmers, you alone, you can't feed those people. The pork they eat is too much in Kingfisher and Tilenga. Because I will show you the figures that we now have up to 13,000 people who are in these camps. 13,000 people, those pigs of yours cannot supply us pork, which is enough. So it means that you have to work as an association. You need to work together to be able to supply the oil and gas sector. Because when they give you a contract, you can run mad. Because they will tell you, we want up to 100 pigs per day. That is even bigger than your farm. Tomorrow again, they will call you, they want more. Meaning that you must start working together, start coming together to be able to win these big contracts. The other important thing, I'm posting it. Okay. Now, I want all of you to pay attention to this. The Supplier Authority came up with what they call 16 ring-fenced services. Ring-fenced services, these are ones which are exclusive. If you are not Ugandan, if you are not a Ugandan, you don't supply this. Maybe my translator, you can tell us this. First stand up, sir. When you say ring-fenced, that these things, these 16 services are for only Ugandans. Whether they are Chinese, whether they sell at a lower price or not, we have said as the Supplier Authority, this must be done by only Ugandans. Can you interpret that?
Oh, omukulu agambire oil and gas aroho ebintu ebimu ebiri by'Abannayuganda. Tukimanyi amafuta aliyo high standards, quality, omutindo n'ebintu ebyo ebitakutuukiriza kukola emirimu ebyo Abannayuganda. Mukionga Supplier Authority na gavumenti ya Uganda eina ebintu ebimu ebyagabye kakibe biri Abannayuganda atalonda kuzereki tarumu. Ate ono ali ebintu bya security ebyobwelinzi biriko nkabona abalinda ebikuweka obulinzi no hali ebyokulya n'ebyokunywa nka kate tuli hano hariho hoteri ekibia amaizi ebikolwa bino byona abakusupplyinga mu oil and gas bana ba Blue n'atuposta abaana abo oda ezo zokwaka abuza za Uganda no hali hotel and accommodation hano ebyobyamo na ebyokulya by'obutalini no hali human resource abakozi office supplies ebintu ebikozesebwa mu office nka peri bikebyo empapula fuel amafuta cleaning and forwarding haliyo ebyobuyonjo kusegese buyonjo mukakusobola ebi service ngezo haliyo local available construction materials ati ebintu ebikozesebwa mu kuwombeka kikuna bintu okwali biruka heru bali babiha heru munyonyi ombekana haliyo civil works kebiko kuwombeka abakozi abakuwombeka haliyo environmental studies and impact assessment bine ebyobuhangwa no kutorereza emirimo ng'ebyo communication and information technology bine yakalimagezi okay empulizigana niwada amaradiyo zaitu zino TV Normally, waste management and where possible. Waste management is yeah? Waste management. Okusobola kasiro. Okusobola kasiro. Namuna kusasa kule ikoma kutogo. Amon ebi. Ati ebo byona balibira awale. Okay. Haliyo kureni haya. Ati kureni haya niyo bindi ebyoma ebihimba ebyamani
vaccine trainings. Yes, the trainings. You can set up training centers. We want all trainings to be done by Ugandans, and it's only international trainings where we're training like district local leaders, where we allow trainings to happen from outside. Other things like telecom, we want them to use Ugandan telecom companies. We don't want them to come with their technologies and say they want to do telecom services. Things like custom clearance at the border, or even here in the Hoima, we don't want to see other clearing and forwarding firms which are international. All this must be handled in our country. Emergency services, all this should be handled by us. Managing the camps, camp management, all this must be handled by us. Issues like communications, medical, and others that you have seen are those that we call ring-fence services. So this is important for you as farmers, so that when you are forming your linkages, you can start doing businesses which relate to this, because you can be sure these are jobs which we have left for Ugandans. And of course, as a local community, you might have to scroll for me because I think there's a game got stuck. Yeah. Now, these are what we call sectoral linkages. I put this slide here for you to appreciate that for us in Bunyoro and Uganda in general, oil and gas has come as a big blessing. I'm sure you people who live here, you have seen that things are changing on a On a daily, development is happening on a On a daily. The number of cars entering petrol stations is increasing on a On a daily. Bunyoro is no longer the Bunyoro of those days. This is a new Bunyoro where there are lots and lots of opportunities. And what I was trying to tell you is that for us as Petroleum Authority, we are aware that oil and gas is finite. In other words, it is a resource which is non-renewable. When it is finished, it is finished. It's up to that. That oil, when it gets finished, it is finished. It's finite.
Agambile, amafuta gana gatuyire gahuwayo tigalengo gagakone gazali gabaho. Oba kugayiha gailo wire hareba ira gakoraki nigahuwayo so gaina owiro pakaja kuhuwayo.
So we as government, we are aware that oil is finite. So we don't want to leave this place in a worse state. We want to leave this place in a better In a better state. So government is trying to do everything possible to make sure the speed at which the community develops, it goes very fast the way you see it. We want a high level of growth and development. That's why you see we are setting up power lines are being put everywhere, roads are being put everywhere, airports everywhere, a lot of constructions. Those of you who have gone down where Cnooc is based, you get surprised. It's like a new city. It actually looks more beautiful than even the district headquarters of Of Kikuube. The speed at which the place has changed is very, very fast. That is what we want to see happening. That's why we have said the resource is finite, but we should change development goals of the country, okay? But we should not completely change. We are going to do things the way we have been doing. We are going to keep our culture of the Wanyoro the way it has been having. But as we do everything here, we should utilize it in a way that it can enhance development process. by enabling the economy, I've said, to jump to accelerated what? Growth. That's what we want. If government requests that give us where we can construct a district administration, please you give us. Because when you delay, you are delaying what? Development. Work is moving very fast. If government says, please give us where we can construct a stadium for boys and girls to play football so that we can have possibly another Bunyoro Kidara Kingdom football club here, the Kikuube football club. Please don't refuse. See how to help the government so that before these companies leave, we are able to have this what? Facility. So that by the time they leave, we are now above middle what? Income. That's what I wanted to inform you. So everything you do as district leaders, as community leaders, we have to move very, very what? Very fast. Next slide, I think my it has become weak. Now when we talk about these linkages, I think this is the main slide I want to communicate. I have already said that for us we are farmers, not so. We are farmers. So as farmers, a farmer is different from a peasant. Peasants are really village farmers who produce for their own home what? Consumption. And I think that's how we grew up here, isn't it? You rear your chicken for you to eat at home. Your sugarcane to eat. Your fene for you to eat. But we are saying, we are no longer peasants farmers. We should now transform from being peasant farmers to commercial farmers. Let's now rear chicken to sell. Not just one pig. It should be a farm. Don't grow only one fene. Can you grow a lot of fene? That's what we are saying. For commercial what? Purposes. Because the market is there. Even if you cannot go up the camp, there are companies that move around like Pure Grow to collect what? Your food. But we want you to be a commercial farmer. If you can also grow during dry season and come up with machinery, that's what we want you to do. In your village, can you work together? Maybe you feed water or you pump water and then you share so that you can grow vegetables even during a dry what? A dry season. So that you don't work alone. Because you alone, it is expensive. Because the water you might pump, it can actually even serve the whole village. So why do you want to benefit alone? So maybe you need to share it with other neighbors. Cold chain storage. If you can have a truck here where you collect your fruits, the pineapples and whatever, or fish or milk, and transport it. That is what you should be thinking about. Food processing. If you can also make sure that instead of selling your maize, you can pack it and make it look better. Your apples, you can pack it in a basket. Your bananas, there's a way you transport bananas so that it doesn't break. If you can have those, that's what they call packaging, so that the right bananas arrive when they are not what? Smashed. This is what we want you to do. And we are saying, if you did this, it means some of you might have to build houses here at the center where the other old woman from the next village will come, bring her pineapples, you keep here, you collect. Another person from another village, you collect. So you will need this. And that's why housing will become important. Some people might have to sleep there because they cannot walk back at night when you have money in the what? In the pocket. It means you might learn to have to hire a room at the center here. So that's how housing becomes important. You might become a big association. It means you have to have an office. Not so. The district may not take you. You might have to rent your association there of Kikuube Farmers Cooperative Union. That requires an office. And then, of course, you might need a warehouse where whoever brings maize, you keep. So that when the season is not there, you are still able to what? To supply. When you do that, it means many of you will have money to build restaurants and hotels. The tourists will come and sleep here because they are good what? good hotels. So people come here as they visit the different what? Villages where Kabalega was involved. And then of course it also means you will have to be involved in civil works, you will have to be involved in construction, because some of those roads tourists will have to pass, will have to be constructed, and definitely you will need to have power, water, and all those, and the young people will benefit. In terms of all this, of course, you have to transport these things. Even if it is construction materials or tourists or anything, you will need a vehicle. So these people who are companies or constructors or the operators, we say, you saw from the other side, that transport is exclusive. It's among the 16 what? Ring fence what? Services. But if Cnooc is hiring to transport people here or to transport food, is your company registered? Do you have a registered company? If Cnooc has visitors who want to tour this district, if you are not registered in the National Supplier Database, Cnooc will have to invite a vehicle from Kampala. Do you understand what I'm saying? They have to bring vehicles from the city because you are not registered. So again, you people have to register. We have said even petrol stations, we don't want Chinese to come here and run a petrol station, not even Kenyans. All petrol stations should be run by what? Ugandans. And we get fuel from there. And you will never see, even if you went down. Whether you go to Kingfisher, Tirenga, you will find that all petrol stations must be managed by Ugandans. Now these are opportunities. If PA is to get fuel, we have to get fuel from a company that is registered in the National Supplier Database. And similarly, health services. You saw, we said, issues of like ambulances. Yeah, these are things that can be done by Ugandans. We want these camps to have only Ugandan nurses, Ugandan doctors, Ugandan medical what? Workers. So again here, for people to be treated, the hospital or clinic must be registered in the National Supplier what? Database. So that all this is how the linkages work. And that's why we are saying, as farmers, we don't always concentrate in what? In agriculture. Do other things which support agriculture linkages. That as other people are planting maize, for you, you can be manufacturing maize seeds. You get it? Which is backward linkage. For you, your work, not selling maize, but producing good seedlings. I don't know that you understand. The best seed, when they say this is the best maize you want, yours is to supply. When they say the best sugar cane, yours is to supply the what? The seedlings. Those are what we call backward what? Linkages. But you can also concentrate on forward what? Linkages. So that's all these people are growing maize, for you refuse it. And like, I'm not going to grow what? Maize. Yeah, I'll wait. When they finish growing, then for me, I set up a grinding what? Machine that grinds the best what? The best maize. So that's what we now call forward what? Linkages. So we are here just to enlighten you of the opportunities. And scroll to the next. Next. Okay. This is what I was telling you at the beginning. That by last month, 13,000 Ugandans are in the camps. They are working, 13,000. This is not a rumor, this is real. 13,000 people are working right now as I'm talking in the oil and gas sector. These are Banyoro. These are Banyoro. And we're saying that last month the number reduced a bit because of the number of activities, 64 people, because there was construction, especially with the Excel and motor engine, and then of course other construction companies. So the number slightly came down. You know, when the construction is done, you demobilize and then you move to the next. But we also note that 4,344 people were from the local coast what? Communities. So when I say local community, we are talking about people from Kikuube, but mainly where the work is what? Happening, because that's more of the most local what? Community. Then the other balance were other people from Kikuube, Hoima, Bulisa, you understand? But these 4,000 are people who work every day. You work, you go and work, you come back home. The next day you work, you come back what? Home. And then the balance, those who are skilled, are the ones who are in the camps. The licenses employ the group of my brother here, 849 people. And again, out of those that are required and are working now, 71% are Ugandans. And that's what the authority does. We don't want you people to start accusing us that we went down, even the person driving a grader, a lifting machine, we saw a Chinese, and then we can do it, my son can do it. We don't want this to happen. We want, if you are an expert, it should be something that we have no personnel or no skill to do. The contractors have also, of course, employed 12,000 people, and of course, again, 95% are Ugandans. Now, the contractors are people Cnooc users, like COSIL, CCJV, those are the people. For other Tilenga projects, it is like companies like McDermott, Sinopec, ESA, those are what we call contractors. Next. So you can see the numbers are growing. These are the key pillars I have already talked about as PAU, utilization of Ugandan goods and services, employment of Ugandans, skills development. This is what I concentrate to ensure that we don't say, we can't give people Kikuube. They don't have the what? The skills. They can't do anything. This is what we do. That's why recently, I even under McDermott, some of the kids from Kikuube and Hoima were trained for tailoring also. Yes, and all the equipment under McDermott have been left in the St. Simon Vocational Institute, so that our young people can go and continue training to be able to know how to make PPEs, the personal protective gears, clothes like almost like the ones putting on, those ones, the coveralls. So the machines that are there are industrial machines. Enterprise development, this is what we are doing now, training you on how to become successful businessmen. So that's basically it. In terms of national content gains, I've already said, over 14,000 Ugandans have been employed. Now, to work in the oil and gas sector, you must be accredited internationally. If you have weld the pipe, they must test you. You don't just come from Makerere, they will give you a pipe. Because if we do that, should there be an accident, everybody in this village can die because the pipe will be passing here. If the thing explodes, it means even the lake will have all animals what? Die. So the quality of skilled personnel is set at a very, very high what? Standard. But we are training Ugandans to know how to do work at a very, very, very high what? Standard. So before you weld a pipe that passes here, you must have an international certification. You must have an international certificate, not just the one of Makerere, on top of one for Makerere, another one. On top of one for St. Simon or the Vocational Institute here, the nearest is Buhimba Vocational Institute. You must be maybe City and Giz or ECITB and stuff like that. Next. Now, you will also note under enterprise development, the PAU has supported 280 SMEs. Like now, about 137 women and youth groups have been trained under the ECOP. 138 businesses linkages have been established. More than 5,000 small and medium-term enterprises have been trained. You have been seeing there is a program under African Development Bank who have been moving around, training farmers, because we know that farmers have to be helped to know what to do. Some of them don't even know how to register what? A company. That's what we have been doing. At least 5,000 companies have been registered. And of course, these are all the other programs. One other important thing maybe you need to note is the National Content Conference. I want to announce to all of you, including the journalists, that we have the National Content Conference, which is happening next month in Munyonyo at Speak Resort Hotel Munyonyo. It will be happening on the 6th and 7th of December. So some of you who are companies registered under the National Supplier Database, you are all encouraged to register for free. You don't pay money to attend. You only transport yourself. The feeding and other things will be done there. But all you need to do as a company, for those of you who are companies, is to register online. The team of PAU was here last week registering you to the National Supplier Database. So there is a conference again next week, a national conference, where we invite companies that have businesses, those who employ, those who have, where I was telling you, this is now for farmers, are these Chinese, French, and other companies which are international here, are they bringing their own food or they are eating our food? So we are saying PAU regulates and says these people must buy things from here, from Uganda and from our communities. 7.9 billion shillings has been really awarded to Ugandans as contracts. That's a lot of money. That is almost half of our Ugandan what? Budget. 7.1 times 4, that's 28 trillion shillings. You understand? Our budget is just 47 trillion. So half of the money right now has been, of the contracts have been given to Ugandans, which is a huge opportunity. And of course, approximately 73% of the companies are Ugandan companies. Of the 624 companies right now, 460 are actually Ugandan what? Companies. And 988 million shillings have gone to the communities. Community is not just here. Community is, what's the name of that area where we are? No. KFDA, it's called Buhuka. So when we say local community, it means the people of Buhuka have supplied up to 988,658,000 what? Shillings. That's a lot of money. That is about times 4,000. That's about we can say over 400 billion shillings have gone to our people. So these are the benefits we are talking about. And then handling of procurement complaints, there are complaints next that always come. The PAU supports to make sure this don't happen. These are just examples of companies. I put this company here, Kikuube Hotel, just for you to know that you can also start your village hotel and you benefit. Are we together? Like now we are here at the villa, so the villa will in future be among the company. So if you look at some of these, just examples, the space was small. Pal Engineering is a Ugandan construction company, also Ugandan. All these ones, these fabrication companies, so all those buildings you see, there are companies in Uganda that make the prefabs, the prefabricated what? Materials that are in the newspapers we read, we buy on the Uganda. Next, Excel is a Ugandan construction company. In terms of opportunities, this is why we are here, to tell you don't give up, don't think you are late, you are not very late. We still have a lot of opportunities. There are some new contracts being awarded under ECOP. We have different opportunities which are available under the tier 2, tier 3 contractors. So don't think these things are for only big what? Companies. Even you can be part of this. Construction phase is still on. For those of you who are in construction, there's still more work for the next 4 years. We have a lot that is coming. There are going to be about 5 camps in the ECOP districts which are going to be constructed. These are all opportunities. And of course, we are also projecting that in the next 1 or 2 years, more 1 million people will come to here. More 1 million people in the next 1 or 2 years. Because everyone will want to come and see what is happening. The roads will be good, the airport will be here. So these things of saying, I can't go to Kikuube, it's very far. The airport is here. If you have your money, you come with the what? With the plane. So the number of people is going to increase, and you know what comes with it. When there are many people in the place of different communities, it means also you have to change the way you do things. The food you cook, you have to change, isn't it? Because now you will have a quick who comes from what? From Teso. You might not eat your other food, so you might have to change the different types of food that you eat to cater for all people. Of course, even after construction, there is still a lot of work for the next 25 years. And I've told you more exploration is happening. That's where we started. And of course, all the infrastructures are there next. And we should not be able to complain about the opportunities. I want to conclude, friends, by emphasizing the following. We still have a lot of opportunities at this development stage. Work with your children. We said IT is for us, Ugandans. IT things involve installing cameras, CCTV cameras, smoke detectors, alarm systems, access control systems, electric fences. Those are all IT things. You should be encouraging your son, your daughter, to set up a company to repair the AC, air conditioners, to repair the fridges. These are opportunities which are still there. But we're also saying today, don't work alone. I know you are the richest person here. You are the Munene, in terms of land. You have like 100 acres, 500 acres. But 100 acres still cannot fit 13,000 what? People. You need to work with us, even if you are rich. You get? You need to work with us so that as you supply your oranges or passion fruit, at least let me also supply goat's meat or chicken or cows. Are we together? So that's what we are saying. Can we work together? Can we form an association so that we have partnerships, collaborations, and we get the advantage of working with big what? Capital. We are also saying that as PNU, we commit to continue supporting you people for as long as you are compliant. Our compliance requires that we register with the national supplier database. Are we together? Because you cannot supply any goods and services when you are not registered with the national supplier database. We are also saying to be compliant for the young people. I've seen many young people here. I know you want to get jobs. For you to get a job, you should also register with the National Oil and Gas Talent Register. Make sure you register with the National Oil and Gas Talent Register. These two systems were put is to get up for people who stay in the village, like you. Because you cannot come to the interview, it is far. So you can register from here at home without necessarily what? Coming. The other good news is that the government has put a lot of money to set up the systems. The systems are for free. The NSD, the National Supplier Database, is for free. No one should ask you even for 5 what? Shillings. Even the National Oil and Gas Talent Register, it is for free. Don't allow anybody to ask you even 5 what? Shillings. Because this is meant to benefit our people in the communities. The other important thing is that the sector is continuing to grow, and there are lots of opportunities that are still there, and we want to make sure that all of you are part of it. So in case of any questions, we'll be happy to guide you. And of course, there are benefits which are direct that are going to come, but others are indirect. So if you can supply or buy a truck for us and give it to us at a lower rate, then we will benefit as members of the Bunyoro Kingdom. But National Oil and Gas Talent Register. Otherwise, I thank you. Thank you.
I was supervising with Mr. Yakagaba when one going to present about the leakages. Because everything has been summarized apart from phase 2. So I hope Mr. Yakagaba and work has been simplified. You will already summarize also, and we move on. So thank you very much. And 2, he has been so kind. You know, there is a giving information, which is of official purposes of giving information. But in this case, it has been for the community to ensure that you understand what is presenting. So we thank you very much, and I think you have been very person to do this job. I don't want to waste a lot of time. I know most of you understand English and you hear English, but maybe somehow, somewhere, some few cases, speaking will be a problem. I'm sure what has spoken, everything you have understood. I would like to waste a lot of time. First of all, he introduced about Kuramiri Moki Nkapao Yagaba, Federal Government of Uganda, the regulating. Erolera kampuni z'umuzorona ezikwiha amafuta nka Cnooc, nka Total, Oranto hamwe n'ezindi. Niko zikore ebiri hamutindo ko kubikirizibwa ko kusetingiwe Federal Government of Uganda. Then yagamba nti ekoragana Ministry of Energy. Then kulikuwa ya yoleka elimuhalebe bakozereho apart from graduating gabayebya training, capacity building, abamulenya bali hano kabarongo ngorwaniko trainings zikabaye ekabapita Government of Uganda ne Uganda na East African, I think, Development Bank, African Development Bank. Ezo na zile programs za bao amune ibunga akasema kusobora. Then yagamba nti otwankwenda ku benefit of mafuta tunakuwa turegister national supplier database to be compliant. Abanga bete Uganda chikuru muno era kuranisa okunaku kubantu kana mafuta kulumanda kumwali halebyo ne tusaba kuranisa okunaku ati kunyura tubiretse byamani byabikwatiyeki okura na musomo kuno gwizana Kikuube omusomo kuno gwizana Kikuube abo kwa emisomo nyingi national content ebire Kampala kwa bagambire hali omusomo kujja kwa munyonyo uli kwa national abo kama national content tugaba abakikuube bonga tugaba alibatayi but se national Uganda yona niho bakuteka amani maingi batukora ati musomo gwizana hano gabemani gabo na pitamo solo Uganda na Cnooc kuranti tulihana oleda ayogezaira nta abantu ndo kumune ko isatu abale ko ndunda abatungire mu kampo ko abakora mu kampo ko bale na Uganda cyo bali banyo deni yabazauti ebintu ngo the social card for after register ingire ebikisa egera kubaraba okujitegereza nabo mulenga habintu ikwatireki njokora ko ngendo ngendaka amafani bakaya agaleka amafani akuru wayo gagiro wire atwategereza amafani yakuru wayo tupuranga ko zigenda kandi nizuga ito twaranga ati national content kwa building capacity ekupateka nzakora ngudia bana Uganda baje Kikuube mwafura muda ntebiki sekali nyingi kwa gambiri emsekali yinda kama ngise oyire hati kuno bigumo omwana ukulezere hano kora abagoma benefit ngam ngawule ko bagambire tinogira abati emikise de ladies and gentlemen. I will use English. I believe you understand English. My name is Kole Kapsegao. I work with Cnooc, particularly national content. I'm representing the national content manager here. And I'm pleased to see all of you. Thank you for coming. James, thank you so much for the presentation. Thank you for coming. We don't take this for granted. Without saying you're very busy, I know you're very busy people. You have so many projects like handling Tilenga and handling Kikuube. So when you make time and you come, we appreciate. Thank you so much. The theme for this workshop, actually, if I go to the theme,
were discussing with the contractor, we're like, can Kikuube handle this workshop? Because we're like, but there's no place in Kikuube that can hold the workshop. So we told him, find a place, even if it's a tent, let's have the workshop in a tent. So I'm glad we are here. The place is not complete, but we look at the theme, enhancing the business linkages. HB linked with the Villa Hotel, and it has made this happen. So that is what is happening here. So for us, we are very happy. I'm going to go straight to the focus on the theme. The theme is enhancing the business linkages for farmer producer entities in the oil and gas sector. We invited some of the suppliers or the contractors who are supplying the Kingfisher Cup with food items, the likes of Pure Agro, the likes of Newrest, and also Atmos Catering just came in right now. Those are the ones that will be telling you the kinds of items that are being demanded by the Kingfisher project. The quantities, the quality that's demanded. When I was coming, I had a chat with my friend Alan. Told me, yes, we are doing this, but we're also having challenges. Even the challenges, they will tell you the challenges they're having. It's not easy, but they'll share the challenges. The good thing is the authority is here, which have taken note of those challenges, and we see how to address these challenges. Because it's never easy. When you say we're going to do this, it's never easy. There are always challenges. But how do we manage the challenges before things go wrong? Recently, we heard about the accident that was at Kingfisher. It was by one of our contractors, but they did not say that it is so and so. They said Cnooc's contractor did ABCD. So everything goes back to Cnooc. So let's try and work together, like Muta said, to try and mitigate the challenges that are coming. We work together. These workshops are meant to be 4 in a year. So we come, we talk. What challenges you are having, how we mitigate the challenges, and how do we move forward. Because the key thing is the opportunities, but how do we embrace these communities? Our objective was that, I think when either James or Martin touched it a bit, that if there are food items available here in Kikuube, why should Pure Agro Newrest go to Kampala to buy those items? When there is a Madame Nyanya there who can supply the Nyanya. When there is Madame Nkoko there who can supply the Nkoko. Why should the Nkoko come from Kampala? Now those are the things we need to discuss and ensure that at least Kikuube as a host district benefits. That is our objective. I advise that I'll be very brief because most of the things my colleague James has mentioned them. But we shall keep interacting. We are here for the whole day. And with those few remarks, allow me to stop there and hand over the mic to the moderator and give an opportunity to our presenters because they are basically the gist of this workshop. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Porcup. Mr. Porcup is from Cnooc. As I told you, in your company, you're organizing right, you need to say workshop. We are very lucky. You know, I've been organizing workshops, but today I'm very happy. And especially for the people of Kikuube, that this workshop is attained 100%. It's 100%. And selectively, these are farmer groups, not individuals, but groups, executives of all the farmers in the districts. And the district production officer is also here for Kikuube. So I think he will take note of that. And the giant companies we invited, the suppliers, the contractors, 3 of them are here. Okay? What are you companies we to kuituka tukuli. In fact, I want to Cnooc, who has mobilized these huge companies to come here and work with the people of Kikuube. You know, a lot has been said that oil and gas, no benefit, no what, that they people don't say, and they talk about for themselves. I don't want to put more words in their mouth. And Mujapungo Wile, Mufiliga free, very time in Burma, you talk. Tikule Abu Wubi, by our kweyabaganiza biriku akwa Paul is here ija notice regulator Paul gamba nangwa tize nawe gamba yes is a what it is a yes. So Paul is here. Cnooc the company ekwa contracts na ekozeki na ye erohan the company so far abena contracts of mafuta bakozeki nanya ba farmers abakikuwe mukozeki ati mrenga mkuwe kwasa akonyeze kwazo myo mabure ku imyegereze so tinye mubera attentive mukakoze bikaguzo byanyu batu bya wa burungi akora mu kwa ngiyo mu baitu kwa supplier abine ko kwezo mafuto atiko na kusabwire obutwali nje tujja kuwebwa otwagamba ngo tugende na presentation tujja kuraki omukuru wa Petroleum Authority of Uganda ali anukengaba ya executive director abalize bitu bingi muno ekyamanyo muri nyo bine omuno tingiro omwakwendeze mu mwandu kule akuleki abagaruke mutiniku then Cnooc nayo mwina idara badizeho kati musabana imanye mwina imugura baraki kujegera rundi tukaguza rundi kwa comment aba ngabagabeke workshop enu berabe workshop bite eri mwa practical teni kubaza kugere kujya tubazo tugende abitu mazege wakulekoze ewoga ekora ebina impact opizira tokora ngo kugenda kuri woyinga torba kampara ejaka Kikuube hano rawata bero services sio kagaba no idha tunge tenti duno tukaromba raza wakubeleka ibe Kikuube so tuina ensoka bwaki izire mu Kikuube so now wibo mkwenda oyibuke obaze ibara lyawo mayo tukozeka so kwa production abwakaire kati twabika kwa project manyangane abakora kampuni ziro nyingi hano zira fundi kwa mazi association mu Buyora kiniko kideya so many abazahiya so kwa ira ka chance obaze ibara lyawe na kampuni ne chikaguzo ni comment
enforcing the rules. Chairman Kikuube District of us presenters, thank you so much for your presentation. You really given us the data. You talked about getting a job in the oil and gas companies. You're supposed to register in the National Oil and Gas Talent Register. You can give us more a hint how to register, what entails in the register, because we got that challenge as leaders of Kikuube. We have counter offices looking for jobs from the oil and gas sector. Secondly, you talked about the National Content Regulation 2016, reserved 16 categories of goods and services reserved for Ugandans. Here, I kindly beg Kikuube should be given the first priority if an opportunity comes. Thank you so much.
Local content. Tabakalizangu local content eri kuno. Nyo kusima muno aba pao awamani agabateiremu kurura nti abantu basobola okuhandikisibwa bakatandikaira ne batusomesa abamu basobola okuhandikisibwa abamu batwala process kandi ngongera okubasiima tubasobole okuleeta abantu baabo aba officials kujja kuregisteringa hano mu Kikuube bakabaho ebivuga ebyomusanju bikuba 11 abasoboire bakagenda baregisteringa nobalaba bakabayikolaki kumaliriza oyo nyumba igenda batangazeemu National Oil and Gas Talent Register. What are the requirements? So I want also to join the National Oil and Gas Talent Register so that I can tap those chances of getting something in the oil and gas sector. Thank you.
The reason we're here, I want to start with question number 1 from Honorable Councillor, Honorable Rose. And I think for her she was asking how one can register with the National Supplier database. When I had a DC and all the other district administrators, I informed the team here that sure. It is a prerequisite for you if you are to supply the oil and gas sector to be registered in the NST. but I'd also informed them that if you are to get a job in the oil and gas sector, you are advised to register with the National Oil and Gas Talent Register. So I think I'll take you through both. For all these online registrations, you just need to go to the PAU website, www.pau.go.ug, www.pau.go.ug, and it will take you either the National Supplier Database link or through the National Oil and Gas Talent Register. But you can also go straight to www.nsd.go.ug, or you can go to www.nogtr.go.ug. But if you can remember the first, it will take you to anything you want to communicate to the Petroleum Authority. Even if you were to send an email and say pau.go.ug, we shall all receive the email. Just say pau.go.ug, definitely we should be able to receive the email. For the business community gathered here to register, last week we had registration going on here for a whole week, Monday to Friday, and we want to thank the district administration for giving us the opportunity. Of course, it's sad to hear from the moderator at the beginning. He had indicated that there was only one company registered here, which is very, very unfortunate. And of course, it's the reason we have now started coming to the district, because we realize that technically most of our communities need more technical support. So we had a big team here, and I think efforts have really yielded something positive. But it's also important to note that out of over, I think day one, we registered 7 people. I did monitor day 2 and 3, but the turnout was still very low. So what we encourage the leadership, the district production officer, you're not going to increase productivity here if people don't touch oil money. You need to pick interest yourself. When we're here, just own up the program. Just own it up. Because we cannot go to the villages. I did come here for registration, but I decided to go to a radio station in Hoima. It was called Spice or something? Spice. Yes, Spice. I actually had, because of, I had come from Kampala, I had to be on radio because I am an efficient communicator, so I had to be there. That was the support I could give. But our technical team was basically here. But even with all that, the turnout was relatively low, and I think it's an area. Let people believe that oil is now here. They should believe that Kikuube is going to pass here. It's not a rumor. We are going to require kids to support us here. These people must eat what? They must eat food. That's why we have all these people, the rest, the pure growth here, because we want you guys to benefit. So to benefit, we noted that not every company that registered completed the registration process. Some completed, but just to give you information, we agreed in the morning that we should not be peasant farmers. Is that what we agreed? We should now become commercial farmers. Those things of growing eggs, rearing chicken to have eggs for your children to eat, we need to move away from it and now grow chicken, rear chicken, keep chicken for purposes of ensuring, apart from your children, also other people can benefit. Because every day they come, we eat eggs. Everyone eats an egg. They come. So you can imagine 13,000 people times 2 eggs on average. That is 26,000 eggs on a daily. Do we have 26,000 eggs in this district? Do we? We don't have. So this is what we are explaining, that something has to be done. Because these farmers can rear or keep chicken. So what you need to do is, number one, open a bank account in your group. Open a what? A bank account. That is step number one. And I think you are free to use any bank. There are so many banks here. So you can use any bank. For as long as it is more of a commercial what? Bank. Don't go and open from a circle. These things in the village, these circles, these are small microfinance what? Institutions. That's why I need the production and commercial officers to really come through. Because some of these people come with these papers of the circle, the biggest circle here. That is not a bank. Please go to these small banks we have here, like Opportunity Bank. There are many. I don't know how many are here. I've not yet checked, but I suspect there are many banks. I've seen Stanbic Bank, DFCU. These are the banks you should register from. Number two, make sure that you pay taxes, so that the district, the councillors can run the district also. So you have to pay taxes. So once you pay taxes, then URA will give you a tax clearance. You don't pay, it's for free. If you have started business and you have never got a business, because you can start business, but you have not yet got a contract, you just file with URA. They will give you a tax clearance what? Certificate for free. So let's say I first want to get a contract, get money, then when I get money, then I pay taxes. No. URA, you are free to file 0 tax returns. I don't know what I'm speaking the national now. Like 0, eh? But if you have not taxed money, you tell them 0. I've made business what? 0. When they say business 0, they are not going to say pay. No. Then they will write for you a certificate that we are a good company. You have started, you have not even got the first money, but you have got a what? A registration with URA. So that's important. So commercial officers and production officers make people know that it's not that you must make profits before you get tax clearance. No. You can make 0 returns, which is something where the district can volunteer to support these people. I don't know how, but I think you guys are here. Empower your farmers. You can always reach out to the URA teams, because URA is up to the village when you are getting to the escarpment. What's the last village there? Broker. So even in the broker, we are trying to tell them you go. So that someone works, the same day you get a what? A certificate. And I think they should be in the district here. So please, let's get this document. It's for free. You don't pay money also to URA to get this document. The other is NSSF clearance. NSSF now requires that even if you are one person, you can just also save. Not so. You can save. But if you have started and you are employing none, you can still go to the NSSF office and they will give you a what? A certificate that shows that, oh, you have just started last month and you have not yet started employing what? People. I'm sure all of us have it. You get it from your what? Your SP, the certificate of incorporation. For companies which are very old, like Pure Grow and New Waste, they will also ask you for your SP annual returns. They will ask for it, which is also not a challenge. For the National Oil and Gas Talent Register, all you need to be is you must be a Ugandan who has gone to school. So all you do, you upload your academic what? Documents. If you have done welding or scaffolding or rigging or piping, you just upload your documents. If you're a lawyer, just upload your document. If you're an accountant, you upload your document. If you have done social work, social admin, and you want to be a community liaison officer, you just upload your what? Document. The other important document you need to add on is your national ID. Because we have said we want all these jobs for what? For Uganda. So some of you came from DRC or Rwanda, definitely we will fight you. We will fight you. We shall allow you to get jobs which Ugandans cannot what? Cannot do. Are we together? If it is a drilling engineer and we don't have any here in Kikuube, yes, we can allow. But for all these jobs which Ugandans have qualified for, we will not allow you. We will not even give you a work what? Permit. So the requirements are very easy. And for any other challenges, I will be happy during the break to give you telephone numbers that you can call. So that even when you are filling the information in the computer, where you get stuck, you call us. Are we together?
Amabara Dwanyeta Alan Karimani, the manager Albertine Pure Growth African Union. Njakubaza njagambe bintu ebirya mani travel from Nongo farmers kindarga yetu linga za challenges twine Ibyo chade kutamara Nongo Pure Growth gulinyanya tomatoes Kongo tufaga gura gulinyanya inaho twine type nyanya gura anso gura asia not the local tomatoes twine pidi kwantwena Gura watermelon is young Calvin. A rose brown and the black one is Kujuga. Brazil Brayo. We buy green pepper, we buy sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes, matoke, green peas.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm by name of Fred Zambo. I'm the creative supervisor for nearest Cnooc, Uganda. I'll be given a short time, so I'm going to be as brief as possible. Nearest Uganda is one of the subcontractors to Cnooc, and basically we do the catering. So I can say we are the final man on ground as soon as food, the line of food is concerned. We are the final food preparation and service to our clients. So that being said, to respond to the previous queries, true, PAO encourages local content, purchase of local content, from local farmers, and then the chain goes on and on to international level. But then also, we consider, because at camp, we deal with both locals and expatriates, the Chinese and the other nationals who come into the country for the project, because our clients. That being the case, we have procedures which we based on to make sure our service delivery is as safe as possible. And our procedures are implemented by technical documents which we make sure we implement on a daily basis or at least every time we have a chance to. Now, concerning local content, we do encourage ourselves, but then, based on our procedure for receiving local materials, I will based on our procedure for supplier assessment and selection. Our procedure says that before somebody becomes a potential supplier, one, they get in touch with our management, together with our procurement, and then the quality manager. Once they have the agreement, of course, based on what he discussed, you being a potential supplier, you must have underwent the requirements like he talked about, the registrations, because you are going to supply a big company, not just a small market or something. These are people, like I said, we are dealing with expatriates, some who may be sensitive to certain goods, or so they will take an extra precaution to make sure the be as careful as possible. That's why we go through all these procedures to make sure your company is registered under the right bodies. Then when you're ready with the certifications, then that's when we come in as nearest, as a catering facility. You have your agreement with management, and then the quality department comes in to assess you how ready you are to become a potential supplier. We conduct audits, initial supplier audits. For example, if somebody is applying to be a supplier, first we conduct an audit, assess his premises, assess the quality of the work he will deliver, to assess their procedures, to assess the implementation of their food safety. There are a lot of criteria based on to carry the audit. And once you pass the audit, that's when you go ahead to become a supplier to the company, to the project. We do not, much as we base on local purchase, we don't buy things from the markets before we undergo this, before we implement this procedure of supplier assessment or supplier audit. Because there are a lot of risks involved, we cannot compromise our implementation of our safety. We implement it, and this requires, before you become a supplier, you are assessed and you're audited. So that's what you just want to make sure you're on board. And once you're on board, there are also requirements you go through. For example, let's say a certain company here has passed the preliminary assessment and audit and has got a contract to become a supplier to the company. Now, there are also do's and don'ts. For example, delivery of raw materials, all the materials, all the items to the company also has its procedure. Transportation is entirely up to you as a supplier for us to receive. And also there we have our requirements. We don't, for the sake of food safety, we don't expect you to deliver your items on a border or on an open truck. We receive different items. Your transportation is based on you as a supplier for us to receive the items. Then, as the items are received, we have categories of items received. We have dairy items, milk, yogurt, dairy products. We have dry items. We have salt, sugar, cooking oil, those dry items. We have meat products, like you mentioned, beef, pork, goat, and so on. And then we have fruits and vegetables. So for each of those, we have our requirements for supply. If it's meat, we may require it frozen. And for you to become a potential supplier of meat, for my assessment in an audit, I will need to look at things like the freezer, how you store your meat before you supply it to me, how you transport it during transit. You have temperature control vehicles. Some items are required chilled, freezing. Those are deep temperatures, which will go up to -20, -18. Then chilled items are between 0 to 4 degrees. Then we have cold temperature items, say used milk. The temperatures go between 0 to below 20. Then vegetables, temperatures, those are the requirements. So we give you a specification on our delivery, what we expect from you. We also give you a specification on the items we expect from you. For example, if you expect, let's say mangoes, we shall tell you you want mangoes in this state, you want them right in this state. It will be that in the purchase order. If you require vegetables, we need them like this, like this, like this. It will be stated there. We complement my statement of local content support. I want to talk about one of our local suppliers who supplies us fish that are based in Songa, our town there, just a few. So that's how much he has passed our preliminary assessment, and he went ahead to become a potential supplier of fish, fresh fish to the company. So, not to make you worried, we have our supplier who supplies us fish fresh from the lake to the company. So you also have the potential to become a supplier. Now, for quantification of the items we use, I will base on the purchase order. For the sake of time, I'll just make an average of maybe a weekly consumption of the items in the company. In case you become a supplier, what you expect to be asked for in the purchase order. For our meat consumption, generally, Ugandans like meat and Chinese like meat. So we consume averagely 250 kilograms of meat in a week. Because meat is prepared daily. Beef, goat's meat, pork. We also have some program of we do small barbecue, meat roasting. So our consumption of meat is and for vegetables we consume averagely 60 to 100 kilograms per week. So if you become a supplier and you supply on a weekly basis, that's like a requirement you need to bear in mind. And then for fruits, generally fruits we do between 80 to 100 kilograms per week. So based on your niche, where you feel you can best want to be a supplier, you can take note of what I'm saying. Then for fish, you can still become a supplier. We do 80 to 100 still per week. And I think that's basically it. So I'm still here for the sake of time. I'm going to cut my talk short, but I'm still around. In case you find out more, you can contact me later on. Otherwise, thank you, management, thank you, organization, and thank you, attendance.
I'm happy to be here. I want to talk about this is Atmos and the Chinese. It's also, we are subcontractors under China State. So I want to be brief because Nearest has talked about everything. For us, fresh things like meat, goat, fish, we get from Muhuka oil and gas suppliers. Dry goods like rice, maize, we get from Hoima, Changwal, Okasonga. That's where we get our products from. Milk we get also from Muhuka and oil and gas suppliers, from those farmers who have the milk. So, the best solution, what I want to complete with my boss, what he has talked about, how to connect with these people. What I know from this side of Kikuube, you have to connect with Muhuka oil and gas. Because our things we do on a daily basis, we buy yams, sweet potatoes, greens from the local market on a daily basis. We go ourselves and we buy them every day. So the only solution is to connect with the market, with those suppliers, Muhuka and oil and gas. That's how Kikuube will also benefit from oil and gas under China State. That is the only solution I can see. Because we buy everything from the local market. Either meat, goat, pork, everything from the local market. So, the standards. With meat, they slaughter every day and we check the stamp, we check where they slaughter everything. With this, one also we check, these suppliers that bring sweet potatoes, they also bring from other farmers. Next to Kasonga, Changwali, they bring their products fresh. That's why we decided to buy daily to have fresh things in our camp. So that's how we get our products from there. The best solution is to connect with Buhuka oil and gas suppliers with pure growth. All the farmers. You have to connect with Buhuka oil and gas suppliers. For that side, if we are to say we are to buy this side direct, they will also complain. How will they benefit the community? They will complain and say, no one has been buying everything they bring from. They will not even say from Kikuube, they will say from Kampala. So you have to connect with Buhuka oil and gas.
Kwenda kusima abatekaniza omukolo guno kandi nyongere nsime RDC wetu habwokuba mu gurupu emu eyo mubalizeho eyine ebihandiko byone bikwetagisibwa mu Kikuube akateekamu amaani and is our patron wetu RDC kusima. Nyongere nsime Mr. Martin habwokuba akatuyambaho muno kurora nti yatukonekitinga n'abandi na kampuni ezindi ezisobola kutuyamba zikatwongeramu amagezi. Twongere tukagenzera hamwe n'ensaba abakulu abali mu maiso gaitu through my RDC bayiheyo ekigambo poor abokuba bogamba nti poor farmers then already psychologically you have tortured me. So kubasaba mukiheyo omuntu singa kugamba oli mwavu then you give them a lot of questions. Kusaba abakulu bakiheyo withdraw that statement. They are not poor. Stanbic Bank is better under Petroleum Authority of Uganda. Bakatutraining abatulabya mu mulingo gwona nk'okutwaiteekaniza ku supplying. Then again I ask myself, habaka abakuru abo ne bagamba nti titukusobola mukabuza ba Petroleum Authority of Uganda babahaza groups mwaija mwatura magambo we don't have the capacity Kikuube ekyo kyabuzo kimwe. Then nyongere ngenda Petroleum Authority of Uganda pure golo complaining have ensonga ezo and your work it is to regulate no kwetegereza. Then kuija kwikoku mukaba mulinka. Then a kid the continuous and use a political a kid already come here. A kid benesaba kutari kusisa sente za government manje Kikuube bayinema akantu gama nti ekyali hansi erihoko kusaba wetu RDC na chairman for you. Leka tuleke kusisa sente za government. Nyewe tini hano wakukulia nkoko ya HB. Every pini na mbele kwenda kututwara. Leka tuje if it is a practical workshop. Leka kula sente tukole sente. Kuija hano mukape mitwale ebile tukalie nkoko kikwenda kutuyama Kikuube. Let us go into real business. Mtu gambire ABC tutandikiwa tukole. We have the groups and abantu betekaniza.
Iyo jase cyane kuyehuliana kutuni. Tukatrainingirwa ababa wa traininga kandi cyane no kuyihayo kindi ngo kampuni emwe yandisiwe mu mafuta eni Kikuube they about 3 ezimanyiro kurungi kandi na nyonyine kampuni bakutabijambo na business ventures anyway registered up to national database ngokwenda kukaguza aba bakaza bakoga mu utmost abakini bagambe tutotera nizali ziti Buhuka oil and gas whatever ito muka training atugere twetera nizana bali you give us direct business and we do business.
Induga mpenyukie VSLA Village Savings Loans Association based in Mukawara kandi Kizirahu sub county. Nsemeriwe muno ko omusomo gono kuyizira white hano kinsemeze muno kandi na bamemba bona basemeriwe yowe ni group for advisor ni advisor group yangu baite mu ekigendera cyo kwimuka hano kubaza kikuri kumya kusiso muyire oyiriho yerezere kunji tukyaho emyaka yenyuma omukani kyaija aba oil and gas nitulaba omugrupu ya Miraka ekakora programs yajja village level hamiruka na hagombo yatulegesa baitu okweralikira kwaitu kwabairoko nuko tukurora kuirevo omuramu takakuruzengera kubagambira ekyo batulegesese kandi kitwarozere ngo oparayija kuya amagita haija kubaho ebizibu kandi ebizibu ebyo tutandikirira ku birora nkaki tukabaho n'okutiina okupinduka y'obwire rundi halijo musana gwingi rundi halijo enjura hingurayo hati enjura tugirozere hingurayo hati mukambuza kampani zikutwara okitu Kikuube kurora embera y'obwire tefuire nk'okutuli hati habwokuba katugambira enjara eija kututeera kandi tukirozere ngwegenda kututeera gurupu zino nezindi zitero mberaki kurora bahindurire ekintu mutyo
kingena kubazaho izi proposed interventions turakora turora nti twayeteraniza n'abakora ku mafuta so ekyokubanza is linkages zikulu RDC kwagambira ekigambo kikoto bali ekikulu is partnership for hamu omukora hamu hano tuyina ekyokubanza tweta horizontal linkage. Horizontal linkage etwara omuntu omukwenda kwingana obusobozi same level same capacity. Katugambora wali group ya Kyangwali maybe growers cooperative society maybe radio nakihali nendi producing ebintu ebikusanisa enyakuli Kikuube nimusabira kweteraniza mukakora linkage mukakwataniza nuko musabire kuturukiya omulimo abokuba omunyala agambe emitwe ebirekera omujoga agambe emitwe ebirekera gumu. So when you join hands, you will increase your capacity, you will increase your magazine, the skills and knowledge. Na sente ndani na milioni 5 na group ene ina milioni 10 tuikize milioni 15 obulayo obuliro sa kubuguza HB hotel nukesobole kola chips. That is the forward linkage. Backward linkage burawa iyo tunalimo bulaya wetu sapota inendibu. So all nambala kwendibu, that is backward linkage. Ina koragana nkomusobole okuyamikire kyomei. Sadly alembe ebiringe nyakwa okayimo nyo kusobola koragana mu. Okubanza is what we call joint venture. Joint venture is kuleta abantu babiri rundi basatu muketeraniza mukasobola kukora omulimo. That is joint venture. Rundi you can carry out subcontracting. Manyo badira chikaitana sayiwa. Subcontracting means ngwiyo jakora omuntu ina akora milimo mafuta. Then you work with him. I don't want to say under him. You work with him. Chokamanyire ndomulimo bakakuwa contractor kuru. So in that case you are subcontracting. Then finally you may have what you call brokerage. Brokerage is wa broker. Tumeona bolano genda mboyi mamtauni ya kutaka televile taxi ya kufuna ki lo kwa kumuli mutali taxi driver taxi ye baita kuyambo wa taxi driver asobole kulaki asobole kufuna mulimo. So in that case, even in business linkages, you can do brokerage. No problem omuntu ondi, no problem omuntu ondi, chonka yo no koraki na yo no tahia. It's very cool. We have very many recommendations. We have very many challenges. So in Basino muno, mwebale muno kumpuliza.
Abayagrifu akabye bitu etanga byona be represented simeshi tulisabwire kale cyakandi bagambege workshop ile practical kuya ekizibu kale according to me ibe bazana mukamo wangono wa Cnooc muno kwa kagera bakubye kuzeki aba ekikuru ebe tufanye problem ikaha na solution ekyo ikizo kira karugaho abantu bikora ni participate ngani supplyinga kati kutwara hano mwenye bikamuzo tubaza bikebyo kujya kurara hano yiche kugaruke na nyine bakubendebyo that is all we need to supplyinga. You get my point? Yes. We want to supply. Kana kisa tugambire kurungi we are the stakeholders. Tutaro na mtu bakozereki. Tibaro bayi bari kubadupa. Kandi mugambire no na president akuri rakajya inagamba no watu bagambire ki. So ngabege workshop ni very practical. Abamanyire ngamu no tigire kitweke. So ncho ngabye tyo so wiro opo. Twatumalire kunu. Then to get our report to moving on. Apa solution tukitungire and the solutions. Councillor FCU, very brief 5 minutes. FCU,
thank you so much, Brother team, the district officials, the officials from Petroleum Authority and Cnooc, and all our political leaders, group farmer leaders, and all the farmers present. My name is Tom Businge. Nvanyeta Tom Businge. Ninkona na DFC Bank kwa ima branch. Kwa kubambele udakika utaito mnikize mbaze mtoro. Mtoro mwenyewe mbisana. Yes. So nka DFC Bank tuizire kuyamba inwe abalimi na abalisa. Abali mu groups na abali omongo weitu onukomasho akulisiza kulimera hateke bukoto. So ntiza kubayamba tuta nka DFCU ngo kwa bantu abandi abagambire Petroleum Authority rundi tongole bya mafuta ne rugaba contract supply mutwale ebirimu ebyokulya mutwale yamata mutwale yenyama mutwale yo catering services byona stationary hati 20 jamu mulinche mpatana shipu tuzamu kuyamba kubahereza sente musobole kulima speed mukakoraki mukasupplyinga nimunyetegereze kandi sente izachotereze kujya kubaza tizina security abandi zina security akuba twina obukakamu ikweta obukakafu bungu abakukule byokuli amanyanza amafuta nibabasasura kuruganka kurugambanga so tukubasaba security ate kintu cyo kubanza tubahereza kweta invoice discounting obokuba mazire kutunga contract wa supplyinga ebintu byabibire musi ekitongole kicyakererwa kusasura ati no leta invoice ejo itu hasente no genda no lima then no continue no supplyinga kwicha bale barakusasura kisalo sente ezeitu ntukereza up to 200 million kuruka milioni 2 mpaka milioni 2 tena security hiyo kume no lima no supplyinga bitito kwaraki mtulinda bali abakutwara ibumba byao kusasura kuruka account yao then itu nsoro sente zeitu mwategereze ekyakabiri kiri local purchase order hati alo abantu abandi abakuba batoyire okunanzibwa mu kusakura entebe stationary akwa nazo stationary bagambire nito local content supplying so ati bagambire omulimo gwawo iwe supplying entebe bora mara supplying entebe turakusasura kandi sente tokozireki tozina ati no related agreement mu DFCU ntugisomamu ntubahandikira nabakonfaminga mazima kuno bakwereke contract ito ntukweleza sente no supplying adeno kuma supplying abakakwata ukakafu ngo supplying ibintu byabo bihikire ne bakusasura account yabo mu DFCU ito nsarahe zaitu nicho mukuru Petroleum Authority agambire mu opening eki bank account no basasura icyakasatu abalisa ati nibaliye nyama umuntu agambire ke they consume 250 kilograms of meat. Kandi ende tokujikulize kilo kimwe. So ntukwa sente nogure ende, nogure mbuzi, nogure mpunu, nogure nkoko. nozirisa notugambira ngu ninja kusupplyinga buli hanyuma y'emyezi 4 hanyuma y'emyezi 3 hanyuma y'emyezi 6 ati twe tukora ntuka sente nogura notandika kusasura hanyuma y'emyezi egyo mazire kukoraki kusupplyinga matetegereza baitu ebyona tubantu endangu mubukole mu groups zanyu, registered groups, registered companies, registered organizations. So no DFC bank ekwiziramu ebyo omukulu wa petroleum authority agambye requirements registration documents ebikwetagisibwa ebyo byona naito ntukoraki ntubyenda kuba twetaaga kumanya muntu kyo tukoraki otukoragana nawe kandi omuntu okukoragana nawe aina connection iki naba petroleum authority abakugura ebirime bye abakugura ebyokulya mwagitegereza. Ekyakasatu nizo loans ezogamba ezobusuubuzi mundu bakwaire naye contract yokusupplyinga esabuni detergents esabuni eno eyokumopinga vimu biki ebyo nabyo loan tukuhereza etaina security nogenda nosupplyinga kusasura security yaitu connection between you the farmer and the off-take at the petroleum authority has put niyo security generator operator otaina otakusupplyinga kuli no supplyinga district nawe ntukuyamba baitu yo okwanoenda kuita kutwara loan yawe ko muntu ukole byawo otakusupplyinga kuli ati no traka security tako kateka abokuba kwekakasa amazima bagagamba tukwekakasa ngora koraki orasugarura baitu kuba ina contract na petroleum authority organization we are sure we shall give you money. Again, finally, if we break the linkage, we shall fail. Natom bank we shall close our hands. Na Cnooc, na petroleum energies, they will also close doors because these companies before they come, obstacles mu Uganda doctors in contract, zikagenda mu banka bazihereze kibakweta performance guarantee that they will exploit, drill our oil, sell it, and give us money. So if we, the local people, fail them, then banks will call their performance guarantee from them, and then the oil will just die like that. So the bank plays a very big role in the petroleum sector, in the agricultural sector, in the transport sector. If we fail, I've already seen very soon in the Mtuzi wa Hoima, but very soon we are going to have a scarcity of food if we continue with this confusion. This is total confusion, by the way. Now, my sister said is buying from a single group. Now, if that single group, that area is hit by drought, will people eat? They will not eat. This man here, some of the farmers, they give them loans. Now, those loans are in arrears because they have nowhere to sell the meat. We have already broken the chain. So let us really avoid shortcuts and follow the clear procedure. We shall all benefit and we shall all enjoy as the country, as we know, as everywhere. Thank you so much.
Maybe before you go, I know you have a lot of information. And these people will need a lot of information from you. I know what banking sector, what it means. Give them your contacts, the telephone number, so that if they want to go into this with you, they can contact you, isn't it? So, I think do that.
Thank you so much.
Any question to him, please get a contact.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Of course, but I have my contact people at Kikuube district. I have Evelyn. She's my contact person. In case of any loan issue, she will directly recommend you to me. I have the production of this also here. We work in partnership with them. But the same young, you can out 24/7. 0782 40 9734. I'm about to sing a tone. Manager DFC Hoima. So even if you sit in your groups in the villages or in your companies, you can call me at a free cost. They will come mbasomese how to tap into these opportunities with the support of financial institutions across the board. They will not even be specific on DFC but they will of course want DFC because we have all the products.
To make the recap and the recommendations within 3 minutes. And I'll move straight to the recommendations. The first one came from the presentation that we had from PAO, and it did highlight some of the 16 ring-fenced opportunities for Ugandans, and he did insist that it is important for us as the local community to concentrate on providing the services under the 16 ring-fenced opportunities that have been set aside, and they include, just to do a quick recap, area of security, food and beverages, hotel and accommodation, human resource management, office supplies, fuel supply, clearing and forwarding, locally available construction materials, environmental studies, communications and ICT, and waste management. The other recommendation that we did pick up is, again from the PAO presentation, that oil and gas is finite, and by the time we finish it from the ground, the community should have developed. But he did insist on and this recommendation is specific to the local leaders of the districts where oil and gas is, because he did mention that whenever there are programs that require cooperation and support from the local leaders to implement development projects, this could be stadiums, this could be building headquarters, this could be anything that requires, for example, land, the local leaders should be able to mobilize the local communities, mobilize these resources that are required to be able to ensure the implementation of that development program. The other recommendation was on farmers to not only concentrate on agriculture, but also the other sectors that support agriculture. But most importantly, they must register in the National Suppliers database, because this is a prerequisite before we can begin having business or engaging in business with the farmers. We were also encouraged to form associations and seek partnerships or collaborations because these help us with working with large capital. One, because we have learned that the requirements or the things that we will require, if we are to do any supplies, if we are to do, for example, supply chickens and whatever, as farmers, as individual entities, we may not be in position to supply this, but if we form associations and we seek partnerships, we are able to tap into this large capital, but also ensure that we are complying with the relevant laws and regulations and the standards. Young people were encouraged to register with the National Oil and Gas Talent Register, and he did highlight what that requires. And he did also mention that these systems like the National Suppliers Database and also the National Oil and Gas Talent Register are free and are available. And this is key because it will increase your chances of participating and benefiting from the sector. The recommendations are 10. However, I can see that the moderator wants me gone, but I'll quickly go through anyway. Production, and this is also specific, production and commercial officers within the districts where oil and gas is should take up oil and gas activities very seriously, because these are enhanced production and you can't report production unless you are doing that. Potential farmers, among the other requirements, you are required to open bank accounts, and the EFCU representative has mentioned that. But not only just open bank accounts, but also pay taxes and obtain tax clearance certificates. Even if you have not done any business within that year, URA is willing to support that process. there was a recommendation on PAO undertaking audits of the supplier companies because these ones are actually not sourcing goods from the farmers, and we are aware that PAO has been taking notes of that. But also subcontractors like Newrest should review and adjust their requirements and the standards because they are set too high and the local farmers are not able to actually comply with these standards. And therefore, the issue of local content in the context of such standards does not actually matter. Subcontractors need to provide direct businesses. This was a request from one of the local companies. Instead of just linking them to other companies that could be the same size, they need to be given direct businesses. That was a request. Thank you very much.
Abakuru bageze bayitukuruka mu kigo cya Supplier of Uganda. Cnooc. Petrol of Uganda kiri kikoto muno kijja kubasoborawo ekijja kumala miliyoni. Oyiro bwe batamajja buli mu gwabo. Banyetambula ndi tumusiime mpaka yanga moti alabiswa Kikuube. Kandi abuli babazira Ruhanga nnyo RDC akola abaladisi ba miliyoni. So bukwane baka hano n'owabulisa nga kumusobola ekiri hano n'owakakumirira musobola ekiri hano. This is the nyakwina mafuta. Nkwenda kusiima muno bya Ruhanga mati habuwa okuleeta omusomo gwotu. Nja kukoza obulunyo abukuba 99% kigendera kyekyo n'inywe. So nkwenda tukigezanga nekulungi. So my brother from the catering services, we excuse me, I'm going to speak in Yoruba for the benefit of the 99% of the catering group. Not because I cannot speak in Italian. Kwenda kusima muno abakolo bateekaniza omukolo guno habwa okuleeta nnyo abalimi baitu okola muzenda kubairike bakunduuka ona lofe Cnooc Petrol of Uganda n'abagenzi baitu Sabati bateekaniza omusomo gw'omulimu kandi nkwenda tubale tubateere okunkafu nkwenda naye kubasiima obwingi kuwuliriza kwega n'okuteeka omu nkola. Abasoma amabuule mwezi gumu okuyinguyire andika article mu New Vision whole page nyagamba nti abantu babunyono okugogola amafuta tegenda kuba mirimu yokubaha kukola ejja kuba bizinesi nti omuntu buli wiiki alina kyakusapulayiga omumafuta esente lwakuba ziteraniize zikusinga abantu bana abageze okukola emirimu omumafuta. That's what I wrote last month in the whole page. Kama tamanyire nti nja kutunga chance yije bibazo tukatirateekaniiza nkateerwa abantu bangi mu n'essimu ne basinima ati ekyo ati ntoli okutiina obupulire bagenzi baitu aba pure grow batandishiwa na business ebakukola nti bakuha orders abantu n'abantu na order nibazihuliriza nibabicooli nibabirima nibenyanya nibazirima watermelon nibagirima ati tubagurejja kuhuura nti kandi babisapulayingirira abantu abandi. That's what you say. Now, that is very terrible. But I was whispering with my brother from Paul. That's very terrible. Ekikumanyisa abantu betwa kikulu ekyo tutakitunuulira kikagendera awo bakuba hampewo. Kandi nyowalalisi wange mbaza mazima bakuba haki ekikumanyisa abakoota abo bakubyekoola bonka ogwo mwezi waitoogogawo. My brother, I'm telling them that a month ago I wrote an article in the Livingston. I'm a writer. I have written in the Livingston for the last 10 years. So I wrote an article, and in my article I was emphasizing a point that the only way people of Europe can benefit from their oil and gas is not through seeking for jobs, but doing business. Because someone who can supply, he or she, 3 times a week or whatever, and in a month he supplies say 10 times, he may be able to earn much more money than an individual who goes and asks for a job. But I also told them I'm surprised and worried that one of the known and recognized supplier, Pure Grow, is lamenting. He lamented in your presence. He lamented in the presence of everybody. He lamented in the presence of Cnooc. He lamented in the presence of Paul. He lamented in the presence of office of the president. That when the guide, I'm using the word guide deliberately, when they guided in farmers on what to plant, the farmers keep calling them, we are ready. They even fear to go to them because what they had asked them, guided them to plant, has already been supplied and already eaten. Some of us who go to Cnooc, we have even already eaten. Now, the question is, who is that person who again supplies other than the person who is known? So I was telling them that I speak the truth. That means you, the newest, you are not only cooking, but you are also being supplies indirectly. So you are enriching yourselves at the expense of these very people. My brother was complaining, we are not poor. Let me correct it for you. You are an active poor man. Active poor. Why we brought PDM is not for the rich, but for the active poor. Someone who is willing to work. Someone who has the zeal to move on, but he is lacking something to push him on. So you become an active poor. So, when you're active poor, these bankers can tell you, they know that word very well, active poor. So, how can we be here and pretend that everything is fine when the catering service provider is at the same time the one who directly supplying himself the items he needs? I want to remind you the duty of an RDC. The RDC had a lot of responsibilities, but one which now suits our interest today, to monitor government programs. I can also monitor your activities, and I report it to power. I write to the executive director. When the president comes to Buka, and him or her raises the concern, the president will not ask power. The president will not ask you. The president will call me. Tell me. So I'm also taking interest to help gather enough evidence. I report it power. Because the Petroleum Authority of Uganda is mandated by law to regulate all these players here. Actually, power is your boss. So, chichechi Nkugamba nti abantu baleke kutuuza buganda okutuuza. Baleke kwegeganza bokka. nanyi mukwenda business. Nanyi mukwenda business. Bati business ehikiri eyi hamutindo. Business qualifying as standards. Amafuta is an international asset that moves with standards, international standards. If for you, you are used to pay Takuli, my brother here, I'm forgetting his company, Pure Grow, or my sister here, Bakwetake Takuli, Hatino Gano Kihayo, Mitaka, Nokitekoka Kutia, Nokilukiza, Sebeza ho, Chinabie ho, Kitenekeleze ho, Leka Kinyiride, Leka Chikwazo Tapata iti. Chiyao abula mtindo guli, obuwe mitaka, chiteka mtindo guli. Habokuwa wajakilia. But what was standard day? Bile bila kuelekea maobuka, bila wawe. But one do good and clean business. Okunye tegereze. Ukabulawe watermelon. Jina binabi yeho kurungi. Jiyo bibi ati onkuli runi munyanyazo na kitabali. Now, I have been having meetings. I have had meetings with the president of Cnooc, both in Kampala and here. I have had meetings with the executive director of BAO. I have had meetings with the executive director president of Kikuube. All of them have been telling us, for us, we have given people an opportunity to do business. We have identified people who are going to do business, but we are encouraging them to come on the ground and do what we are calling business linkages. To make business linkages is a very complicated word. Let us simplify it. Partnership. Partnership. And the partnership cannot exist unless there are two people or three. My big man here was given an opportunity to do business, but he does not have all that is required. He comes on the ground in Kikuube to look for people. He even trains you. And he also go Mukataka Kuriga training here. Unfortunately, he has nowhere to take him. Take Okubitua. Yes, he has a partnership. I use the word partnership. I don't want to be confused with the LinkedIn. Yes, he has a partnership with the New West. Over New West, over whatever. And then New West, reached the ground, the agreement. Reached the contract and going to the other market where everybody is a passage. What is that market? That Kalewe brings to the ground, they cook for us, we eat, we clap our hands, and we say, we're going to go back. When our people are here, stuck with the food items. Why? My brothers are here, the Pure Grow. Has those business indirected to the point of even telling his boss, I'm stuck, I cannot go and face the war. I'm going to so why can't we thank Mr. Jaruhanga for bringing these people here? And why can't we thank my good friends Cnooc for putting in money to see that we are here? And why can't we thank about for these are very busy people, very busy people, but to ensure that he comes and listens. To me, I have a proposal as an analyst of this business, and also as a concerned citizen who wishes well. One, we need our oil project must proceed 100%. all of us here must agree that our oil project must proceed 100%. Two, as it proceeds, the local population must not be deceived by the word local, which has never come into reality.
Yes.
And the only way it can come into reality is by walking the talk. And how do we walk the talk? We implement what we agree upon. So to me, my proposal is that Paul, having heard from all the presentations, having heard from the supplier, the man himself, and you know when you stood up my brother, people were like, hey, you need the sort of money. I was hearing them, hey, wait. Come the man is lamenting. The man is lamenting. So, to me, I would propose, it is subject for discussion, that now that we have heard from the stakeholders, you are the key stakeholders, I'm telling you people here. Now that we have heard from the key stakeholders, but we have also had an opportunity that Paul was able to represent it. And the Cnooc is also here. And our brother, these people who are doing catering are also here. Let us, from this meeting, agree that from today, Paul does the auditing. They do the auditing. Mugenda kusanga mahano. Abakujusa gavumenti bali muli itwe. Nano amahano garoho. Mujja kusanga nti nolaba tugamba yona Kikuube tulina kampuni bisatu. Obukampuni busatu obukatunga kamukona olina otuyinduire tukatukama na pressure. Kale tukateekawo good faith. We don't want an oil curse. We need a blessing. We need blessings. President Museveni, who sent me to work here, is the one who said we must do everything and ensure that I'm after getting to my here. All mechanisms to ensure that that exercise moves on smoothly. That's why you have power here. We have the other, what? You know. Oh, these are very powerful organizations. Very powerful. So, we don't need an oil curse. We need to have blessing. Because I'm after gagena kutuya munaku. Choka kutuya munaku, enake kutaniketa. Iwe no supplyinga, no tunga sente hano. No mara ulikweza kuwala sente na mafuta. That's it. Wana power. Sorry, nazoga kubaida alikuwa mwenye tegeze kwa. Recently, I have just started chasing our younger people. Younger people, you are 20 years old. Your father has given you 10 acres of land. You come to me, and he said to me, recommend me, I get a driver. I want to drive in the oil company. I said, you have land at home? Yes. How much acres? 10. How do you use it? I have rented it out to a friend. I said, go back home. The money is there home. Go and use that land. And the only utake kusupply. Hapo tunatoka alime watake kusupply inga kundi wadoji inga. Tukumaliza kitu. So my brother, with all due respect, go back and tell your bosses, because I know you are notifying you. You are only representing a group. Go back and tell them that we had a very good conversation with the stakeholders. It was very interactive because people were speaking their mind. And we agreed that no, we give them an opportunity to supply. If they have their big suppliers, we support the big suppliers so that the big suppliers can support the local people. And if we do that one, to want to get you to go and take you. Teach you go and I. Tonight you manage to manage to go for. So that's my sister. I heard what you talked. But you need to move out of the box. You're stuck. You need to move out. When we talk of Rondoro, we don't want to talk of Ruka. When we talk of Rondoro, we don't want to talk of Kikuube. When we talk of Rondoro, we mean Rondoro. Until we see the Ruka, Nikako. Meaning that either they are deceiving you or you are sharing with them. Yeah, or you are sharing with them in another way. But if it is a business, try to expand your business. Try to look out. Give them an opportunity to make. Because you are about this, they have made. But if it's about watermelon, try to look for someone else. Use the office of production officer. The production officer can guide you. He knows all the farmers. He's a very hard-working man. I work with him a lot. I know what I'm saying. More the commercial officer, this young lady here, she can tell you here. So that if you do it, you would have failed. So I want to thank you very much for listening to me, Mr. Chair. And I can't say I'm close because the people are going to proceed. I will take up a people as you fight poverty, but you also have to have a healthy life. So I'm going to give over take up a people, but at least Babalizo. That's